Kamakatsu is a small town in Tokushima, which is home to just 1,344 people. For the last couple of decades, they've taken recycling into their own hands. The residents of Kamakatsu have been taking recycling into their own hands by segregating their waste into 34 categories. They then proceed to wash it to ensure it's recyclable. Almost all waste is recycled correctly. Of course, in any society, there are those who don't wish to help. These outliers stand out significantly in the small population, but have little impact overall. From societies like Kamakatsu, we can observe when people are proactive with their waste, we can see tremendous results. From limiting how much waste they produce, as well as micromanaging all their recycling, we can see how a system where the power is in the people can be implemented by everyone. However, it is a collaborative effort where everyone needs to put in the effort. Even with a small percentile of the population not doing that part, it still has minimal impact overall. But how does this compare to other nations? Australia does very little inside the country, although Australian companies like Licella that turn plastic waste into stable biocrude have transformed the plastic recycling industry. It seems Australia doesn't want anything to do with it. With Australia sending 1/3 of paper and plastic waste to overseas trading companies based predominantly in Malaysia, as it is more economically viable to send it somewhere else than to process it here. These third world countries are forced to deal with illegitimate companies taking Australia's waste and storing it. With Australia producing over 3.4 million tonnes of plastic each year, but only recycling 320,000, we are staggering behind most of the developed nations. But what about other places around the world that are more developed that aren't small cities? In this instance, we turn to Sweden. The citizens of Sweden, similar to Kamakatsu, are required to sort their recycling into many categories and then deposit them at specific bin locations. Waste is then sent to recycling plants where the plastic is recycled accordingly. Any plastic, paper, or any kind of landfill that can't be recycled is sent to incinerators that burn the waste, transforming it into energy for the nation. However, this isn't technically recycling, it is reusing and reducing plastic waste and landfill. All over the world, we are seeing the introduction of return and earn machines. Here in Australia, they are called TOMRA machines. These machines exchange bottles, cans, and glass bottles in exchange for 10 cents a piece. Although it doesn't sound like much, it still incentivizes people to collect all the bottles in their home and take them to one of these machines for a small profit. Licella is a corporation founded in Australia. It aims to take any form of plastic and transfer it back into what it started as in a liquid-like state. The company is paid to take in waste, process it, and sell it back to companies for it to be transformed back into more plastic. This means plastic can become a circular economy. There is no operational systems in Australia that are commercial as the market is not there. However, in the UK, we are seeing the system being adopted on a commercial scale. This technology has only emerged in recent years, so it is fairly new. The Australian system has little environmental impact locally as it is transporting 1/3 of paper and plastic waste overseas. It has devastating social impacts globally as third world countries are being forced into a lower quality of life as they are taking on the burden of first world countries. Economically, it is the cheapest and most inexpensive way for Australia's waste to disappear. Kamakatsu has one of the best current systems in place for recycling as it is extremely environmentally friendly as 81% of all waste is recycled. With their innate ability to limit how much waste is produced in combination with their incredible recycling method, this means very little waste ends up in landfill. The system in theory is designed to bring together communities where the people help each other work together reduce and recycle plastic. However, if people refuse to cooperate, this could produce tension within groups of people. The economic impact is large as each person is saving money by buying less as well as buying products cheaper as they are recycled. Sweden's approach has a neutral effect on the environment as they are getting rid of waste, but by burning it and converting it into energy. This is positive for the environment as plastic waste is being burnt and not ending up in landfill. However, the byproduct of this is toxic emissions being released into the atmosphere. It is a very minimal amount, however it is still present. The social impact in Sweden is positive as people's waste is being reused for energy, meaning people are paying less for their electricity. The economic benefits are also quite tremendous as countries are paying Sweden to take their waste, meaning their fuel is coming to them at a negative cost. However, the system that is most optimal and is still currently being developed is the CAT HDR system used by Licella. This system has the best environmental sustainability as the process does not produce any waste or byproducts of any kind. This allows for a clean biocrit extraction that's safe and clean to use, posing no risk to the environment. Socially, it provides higher paying jobs on the same scale that current recycling plants are at currently. This helps improve quality of living as people are getting higher wages. Economically, it provides a way for plastic recycling companies to pay Licella for biocrude that is comparable to typical oil costs. This allows companies to be incentivized to buy recycled oil at the same price with additional benefits. This process, also being a circular system, provides a long-term answer that completely solves the plastic recycling question. To conclude, all these forms of recycling have flaws, from the kamikaze system relying on individuals doing their part, the Australian system paying a different country to take our waste, the Swedish system which isn't technically recycling but repurposing. Recycling plastic waste has been proven a massive issue for the last 100 years, with many solutions not being proven feasible. However, the technology Licella have developed has the potential to take over the industry by storm, as it virtually has no negative impacts. So until the CAT HDR system is implemented globally, we need to assess our options and decide what path we must take.